the tiny fairy who stole the star sense upon a time. In the heart of the enchanted forest, there lived a fairy so small that even the other fairies had trouble spotting her. Her name was Luma, and she was no taller than a dandelion puff. Despite her size, she was filled with mischief and curiosity, always fluttering about, poking her tiny nose into places she wasn't supposed to go. One evening, as the sky turned a deep shade of indigo, Luma sat on a mushroom, gazing at the twinkling stars above. Why do they get to sparkle so beautifully, while I am so tiny and unnoticed? She pouted. Then, a rather ridiculous idea popped into her head. What if I borrowed a star? Just one, then everyone would notice me. Now, Luma had never been the best at planning. So, without considering the consequences, she flapped her delicate wings and zoomed toward the sky. Higher and higher she flew, past the tallest trees, over the sleeping owls, until she reached the lowest hanging star. With a bit of effort and a lot of grunting, she yanked the star right out of the sky. Oof, heavier than I thought, she huffed. But as soon as she held it in her hands, the star shrank to her size, fitting snugly into her tiny palms. Excited, she zoomed back down to the forest, holding her stolen prize. Wait till the others see this, she giggled. However, the moment she reached the ground, something very unexpected happened. The sky hiccuped. Yes, hiccuped. A loud hic echoed through the night, and suddenly all the stars began wobbling like loose teeth. One by one, the stars started tumbling out of the sky, raining down into the forest like glowing raindrops. Some landed in treetops, others in ponds, and a few bounced right off sleeping squirrels. Oops, Luma muttered. The forest came alive with chaos. Fireflies blinked in confusion, owls hooted in distress, and even the moon let out a grumpy sigh. Who's messing with my stars? The moon grumbled, peeking down at the world below. Luma, realizing that she might be in a bit of trouble, tried to hide behind a mushroom, but it was too late. The Fairy Queen, a majestic being with wings as wide as a butterfly's dream, appeared in a shimmer of golden light. Luma, the Fairy Queen said, her voice as soft as a breeze, yet firm as an old oak. Did you steal a star? Luma shuffled her feet. Borrowed, she corrected meekly. The Fairy Queen sighed. And did you, by any chance, cause all the other stars to fall? Luma's wings drooped. ... Maybe. The Queen pinched the bridge of her nose. Do you know what happens when stars are missing from the sky? The night gets a little darker, Luma guessed. Well, yes. But also, it throws the balance of the world into chaos. Shooting stars stop granting wishes. Nighttime creatures lose their way. And most importantly, Grandfather Moon becomes extremely cranky. A deep rumbling filled the sky. I am not cranky, the moon huffed. I am just severely irritated. Luma gulped. So, how do we fix it? The Fairy Queen tapped her chin. We must return each and every star to its rightful place. And since you caused this mess, you shall be the one to do it. Luma's tiny face turned paler than a ghostly firefly. Me, but there are so many stars it will take forever. Then you'd better start now, the Fairy Queen said with a smile that was much too sweet for Luma's liking. And so, Luma began her grand quest of returning the stars. Some were easy, like the one tangled in a rabbit's ears. Others were more difficult, such as the one that had landed in a fish's mouth. And then there was the star that a raccoon had mistaken for a very fancy snack in Vincing. Him to give it back took an entire night of negotiations and 3 acorns as a bribe. Finally, after what felt like forever, Luma placed the last star back in the sky. The moment she did, the sky let out a great sigh of relief, and everything snapped back into place. Grandfather Moon, now considerably less cranky, nodded in approval. Good work, little one. But next time, if you want to shine, try being kind instead of being sneaky. The Fairy Queen gave Luma a knowing smile. And perhaps, instead of stealing a star, you could earn one. Luma's eyes widened. Earn one? How? By doing something truly wonderful, the Queen said. something that brings light to others. Luma thought about this, and from that day forward, she became the tiniest, brightest helper in the enchanted forest, lighting up the world in her own way. And you know what? One evening, Grandfather Moon placed a brand new tiny star in the sky just for her. And it twinkled just like her mischief-filled eyes. The end.